What is up, you guys? I'm Charmx. Today I'm going to be reacting to Random Thoughts Part 2 edition by Jen Animations. Now, I love the Random Thoughts series. It's quite enjoyable, and it's more, I don't know, it's suitable for people with short attention spans, right? Because they're like a bunch of random thoughts together, so it's not as if you have to try to pay attention throughout an entire thing. And paying attention for me is a little bit hard at times. So, yeah, anyway, with that being said, the original link's in the description. Hopefully it's gonna be awesome. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Jane Animations. Without any further ado, let's begin.
Welcome back to Random Thoughts. This time, Part 2 edition. I want to talk about random things that cross my mind, but can't stretch them into their own videos, so I'm shambling them all together to make a weird video that's a whole caboodle of nonsense. If you haven't seen my first Random Thoughts video, you don't need to watch that one first to understand this one. Thinking about it, you could pretty much jump in at any point.
Yeah, because there are a bunch of random thoughts that it doesn't matter where you jump in. Oh, that's awesome. I never thought of that before.
Point of either of these videos, and you'll be fine since it's nothing but a melting pot of balderdash. Thesource.com is giving me a rainbow of colorful words today. Poppycock. Are there limits to what you can call a fork? There's 3-pronged forks and 4-pronged forks. Can a knife be classified as a 1-pronged sharp fork?
Oh, that's smart. I never thought of that. I don't know. Maybe?
Use them both to stab things. Well, I guess knives are more slicing and cutting. Can a sword be classified as a 1-pronged super sharp fork? Those things were definitely both created to stab. Can a fork fall in the category of a tiny, really dull 4-pronged sword? Is there a spectrum of fork to knife to sword? Back in like the—
Oh my goodness, these thoughts. I'm already loving this. I'm already loving this. I never thought of that before, but now that you've actually, like, you know, say that, now that makes me think, well, yeah, I guess it might be. But then then what classifies a fork as a fork and not a knife? Right?
The Renaissance era? What if rivals said, "Sir, I challenge you to a super sharp 1-pronged fork duel"? Or even, what if, "Sir, I challenge you to a dull 4-pronged tiny sword duel"? Oh no! He brought a less dull tiny 1-pronged forked sword! So you know bananas? Those yellow things? I don't know about your life, but I always grew up not eating any bruises on bananas. There's nothing wrong with bruised bananas.
Yeah, I don't like eating bruises on bananas.
They're the same as any normal, non-bruised banana, I think. I just did research, as in the first result on Google, and it says for bananas to ripen, they start to make a hormone called ethylene, which sounds like an ingredient in gasoline, but it's not. It's what turns bananas from their super gross green bitter phase to the softer, sweeter, and quite frankly, more superior yellow phase. Yay, ethylene! But apparently, ethylene doesn't know how to chill out, so even when a banana's at the perfect ripeness, the ethylene is like, no, I think we can keep going. I think we can be even more ripe. What's the worst that can happen? So the banana just tries to infinitely get more ripe, which is what eventually turns it mushy and brown. No, ethylene. And isn't that just a metaphor for life? You can't endlessly chase the image of banana perfection you have in your head, little banana. You should try to stop and appreciate the ripeness you're at every once in a while. Or else you'll keep working towards something
Wait, so what's the random thought here? She just said that she doesn't eat the brown spots on bananas. Or like the bruises. And yeah, I don't think a lot of people eat those. I mean, what was the random thought here, though?
Achievable and get all mushy. Banana body positivity. Unless you're a green banana. Then I hate you. So the dark spots are basically just the banana starting to get too ripe, which means they're harmless. But they used to freak me out a lot, so I'd have to cut them off for something to be able to enjoy the rest of the banana. And then I started thinking, what if there was a banana—
That's the thing with any fruit. You drop an apple on the ground, and that one side to hit the ground will get like all mushy and bruised, kind of. You don't want to eat that. You can, just like with a banana, you can, but it's freaking gross. So I guess it all falls down to preference, right? Like, you can eat a steak well done or barely cooked at all, and it all depends on your preference of what you actually want to eat.
Banana monster that ate humans. Would they want to eat the bruises on humans?
That is terrifying. That is terrifying. Oh my goodness.
Splits. This one has a bruise on it. You know those parts are still edible, right? I don't like them. I think they taste gross. Here, you can just cut off the bruises. It's fine. Let me just
oh my goodness.
It started off all sciencey and information.
Hey, it got freaking terrifying.
And then I think I ruined it. Since you brought up the topic of bananas, I was at a store checkout line one time and this guy got in queue behind me. I didn't think anything of it. until I saw this river of bananas scroll up to the register. Imagine, so you know how grocery stores have their bananas on display, and underneath the display sometimes there's more boxes of bananas? He had like 4 of those banana boxes, all
Why?
laid out on the conveyor belt. I've never seen anyone buy that many bananas before.
Did he own like a competing grocery store or something? And then he was buying all the bananas to go put in his store?
You know you have to eat all those in a certain amount of time, right? With the ethylene and all that. Is this your first time buying bananas? I looked up to see who this hero of a man was, and we made eye contact, and I didn't know what to do, but I felt like I had to say something because I was so proud of him, so I just went, yeah, bananas are my favorite too. What are fish's opinions on water currents? Do you think they think they're annoying? Welcome home, fish dear. How was your day at the office?
Really? Really?
Ah, fish life. The currents were pretty strong today. I was swimming to fish work, and the currents swished all my fish papers out of my fish hands. I mean fins, so I was late. Our fish neighbor, Benjafish, crashed into me on my way as well. Currents were too strong for his feeble fish body. You know him in his old fish age. Oh, fish frick. Fishwife, there's no need to use that type of fish link. This is stupid. But are strong water currents for fish the equivalent to, like, strong wind for us? Wind is my least favorite
Yeah, I guess it would be. Yeah, that actually makes sense. They would be basically like that.
weather. People with long hair can understand. Or do you think they're more like fun amusement park rides? Or at least slides? Like in Nemo?
Well, I guess it all depends. Like, it wouldn't be considered a ride if you're swimming upstream, and I know certain types of fish, you know, swim upstream. So that wouldn't be considered a ride. That's considered a workout. It's like a treadmill.
When they were with the high turtle, that seemed like fun. I can imagine a fish charging fish money to let other fish go down the river stream or a little waterfall. Fun for the entire fish family. Fishny world. But then I remember those clips of salmon trying to swim upstream against the water to go have babies, and that whole ordeal just seems like an inconvenience.
Yeah, it's more of a workout. It's a fish gym.
Especially because bears. Oh, fish frick. Are we all just brains wearing human meat suits? Let's pretend there's a fountain of youth somewhere. Let's pretend that's a real thing. Do you think that if you sat in it too long that your fingers would get wrinkly? Ha! Get it? Because water makes your hands. Do you think if you sit in it for too long, you'll eventually just turn in it Are we all just brains wearing human meat suits?
Basically.
Let's pretend there's a fountain of youth somewhere. Let's pretend that's a real thing. Do you think that if you sat in it too long that your fingers would get wrinkly? Ha! Get it? Because water makes your hands. Do you think if you sit in it for too long, you'll eventually just turn into your mom and dad because before you became a human baby, that's how you originated?
Oh, that's weird. Never thought of that. No, I don't think it would. I don't think it would. What if the Fountain of Eternal Youth doesn't make you younger? What it does, it stops you from aging. So when you hit it, you don't grow younger, you just don't grow older. So you can live forever that way. You just don't grow older.
If you wait even longer, do you become your grandparents? Can you keep going until there's several medieval villages of ancestors sitting in this fountain? Can we reach amoeba phases? RNA in the primordial soup? The universe itself! I talked about keeping a little list of these random thoughts as I think about them over time in part 1, and this point just says, why are bugs always pregnant? With no other context. So, I don't know what to talk about here, or what past Jaden was even thinking when she wrote that. As a kid, I would daydream a lot. In 4th grade, sometimes I would make up this scenario in my head where I would be in school like any normal day, and in the middle of class, I would magically be turned into a dog. Stay with me here.
What?
I'm not a furry. So I was transformed into a dog somehow, and I imagined that I'd get up from my desk, walk up to the teacher, and say, "Can I go home? I'm a dog." And that would be my excuse to get out of school. Haha, smell you later. So what's it like to be a normal kid? I feel like the majority of people would just try to pretend they're sick or something. Me? Nah, being turned into a dog would be the most logical and easiest way to get out of school. I didn't even have a follow-up plan for after I got out of class. I'd go home, and then what? Just be a dog for the rest of my life? Obviously, I had to be a dog that talked.
That's a real cute dog animation, though.
So maybe I would have became a super famous talking dog. But scientists might want to take me away and run tests on me and my weird human dog brain. All I wanted to do was get out of class. I'd probably end up daydreaming about turning back into a human to get out of dog experimental lab class. Or I could just pretend to be sick like a normal science experiment test subject. So if you...
I mean, you could also actually get sick by, like, licking door handles and stuff. Don't do that, that's nasty. Too much bacteria on them. Anyway, guys, I hope you like this video. I freaking love the random thoughts. By far, I don't know what my favorite would have been. Like, the part with the dog was really cute, how it was, like, drawn. But I think my favorite part had to have been the banana part with, like, the bananas eating humans because of how, like, freaking weird it was. I love weird stuff like that. But I don't know. Anyway, I hope you guys like this. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Possibly share with a friend. If you didn't, subscribe to join the family. Also, make sure you guys go subscribe to Jane Animations. That link's in the description. And I'll see you guys next time. Boop!